Now, more from my conversation with Vice President Joe Biden. We spoke yesterday in his ceremonial office at the Executive Office building in Washington. I asked about criticism of the Obama administration's use of force or lack of it in troubled spots like Syria and Libya. There are those who argue, look, we've had a problem overthrowing these dictators like Mubarak and like Gaddafi and like Saddam, and it's come back, and we might ask the question, would we have been better off if they'd stayed?
Let's take Libya.
Saddam, Gaddafi, Mubarak.
Absolutely. I argue strongly
Assad.
against going to Libya. My question was, okay, tell me what happens. He's gone. What happens? Doesn't the country disintegrate? What happens then? Doesn't it become a place where it becomes a petri dish for the growth of extremism? Tell me. Tell me what we're going to do.
And it has.
And it has. I don't think we should use force unless it meets certain basic criteria. Is it in the national security interest of the United States? Are our interests directly threatened, number one, or our allies? Number two, can we use it efficaciously? Will it work? And number three, can it be sustained? Now, I can take you to any part of the world, and we put in 200,000, 300,000 or 150,000 troops. We can absolutely end the carnage, but we're there. Now, are we going to take, my dad used to have an expression. He'd say, Joey, if everything's equally important to you, nothing's important to you. Tell me, what are our greatest concerns in terms of our existential existence?
So what did you think of those 51 diplomats in the State Department who said we need to be more aggressive?
The president and I and previous presidents support the right of any diplomat to have a secure channel to voice a different view. But there's not a single solitary recommendation that I saw that is a single solitary answer attached to it how to do what they're talking about. And every one of them that I'm aware of the president's been fastidious. Calls the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the intelligence community, the Director of Central Intelligence, the CIA, et cetera. Tell me what will work. Will this work? And the answer has repeatedly been no.
What's interesting about this, too, to me, is the idea that you got so many people who want you to do something about Assad. First, you're smiling. You've heard it so often.
And yet, when you press the elected officials, they say, well, what do you want us to do about Assad? Take him out? Is that what you want me to do? Tell me how this ends, Charlie. If you're Senator Charlie Rose, tell me how it ends, Charlie.
It's really interesting.
Yes.
You can always be a critic from the outside, but it's like, what's the solution? How do you do it without massive loss of life? It's interesting.
His smile was so knowing, too, to that. Tell me what to do.
The unintended consequences he worries about, a lot over there. And that's the view that President Obama is his own rationale for not doing more. My impression is that the vice president has had a real influence on the president in terms of his restraint.
Yeah. Really interesting conversation.
They clearly respect and admire each other. I can't wait to hear the next part where you're going to talk about the relationship between the two of them.
Yeah.